What's going on, internet? Yo, I'm your boy John Japanda. This is my boy Chris, and today, part 2 of the video series on the Parlour deck. I finally got him in my hands. It's been quite a journey, dude. I've been telling you about this fucking deck.
You have. You've been telling me about this for a while.
And like, look. We rated the deck of cards. I rated that motherfucker a 9, like 9.5, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was a 9, right?
I think it was a 9.
And the reason being is because of this deck. I had to leave some meat on the bones. So, okay, from a designer standpoint, this is why I saved the unboxing. I haven't opened any of these decks. I literally have been waiting for you to come here and share this with me. I'm dead serious. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is a shirt. Underneath this shirt is almost $700 Canadian.
Oh my goodness.
Of custom playing cards. And again, this is by the GentlemanWake and created and designed by Stockholm 17.
Graphic designer, musician, creative, card enthusiast, chef, producer, magician, card enthusiast.
So let's just get right into it.
I can't wait to crack into it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Ooh, buddy.
Okay.
This is it.
This is it. Okay, so I want to go over it real quick with you. In the last video, I just did the external shots, did all the information on it, and what you see is pretty much what you get. So, look, bro. What we have here is a custom gaff deck. It has, I think it's 14 cards.
Okay.
Allows for utilitarian. These are three of the same, obviously. Right. But this will take a look at. This is the Dynastine deck. Okay, so this was only available. They only printed 777 of these.
This one is the one that catches my eye the most.
Yes.
Out of this pile.
And this is gold gilded.
Okay.
It's gold printing everywhere on it, and it's accented by black, green, and gold. I won't open this just because. Okay, look. This online right now is almost going for $100. You're looking at a $100 Canadian deck of cards, and I won't open it from a collector standpoint again.
Totally
Respectively,
fair.
I can't.
Totally
but
fair.
Today we will crack into the 3 different types of decks, and one particular deck you'll love because it's also extremely limited.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying? So we got the gaff decks. We got the miniature Parlour deck, which I had to have because this is, as a collector's item, it's exactly 50% size.
They're so baby. They're so small.
I know, and I had to get it. If I was going to open it, I'm going to give it to my daughter because she's been playing with those little gaff decks, and it fits her palms so nicely.
You gotta get them while they're young, is the thing.
Yeah, and she's learning. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you can see that she's learning how to do a shake chain. She can't do it, but she sees it. Like she goes, she does the thing with the card. She's like, watch. And she just shakes the cards exactly like I do. So she's getting there.
She's getting there.
Okay, so then also comes with it is a card guard. So it's basically like if you're doing magic tricks, you you put their card down, put it on top.
Okay.
You can't touch it. Or in poker, you can. This is the card we put down. We're not gonna touch it, etc., etc.
It's got some nice weight to it too.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
and like look at like how well it's molded, right? Like there's no breaks and seams. It's perfectly buffed. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, no, real nice work. Like I said, it's got some nice weight to it. Details very, very nice.
And the black brass, man, it's
you got no like sharp edges.
No,
or nothing, so.
it's like buff. It's buffed so nicely. And then on top of that, we got the GentlemanWake Stockholm 17 coin. The reason I got these was because I want to learn coin magic, and these are the exact same size as a 50-cent
right
coin, I guess.
I love the scarab beetle. I love that as
I'm actually torn as to whether or not I know GentlemanWake has said it in one of his videos, and I guarantee you I've heard it. It's either a water beetle, a rhinoceros beetle, or in my opinion, like a scarab.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of those, but I know he said it. I'm so sorry. I'm a massive fan, but like quite frankly, I just don't remember at this moment like what that is. You know what I mean?
Either way, like you entomologist fans will be a fan of
this. And that's huge. And then last but not least, we got the GentlemanWake sticker custom, and this is what I love. It's not a paper sticker; it's an actual vinyl sticker.
Yeah. So For those of you who don't know, this is my profession. I do vinyl deckling and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so,
boy.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's made from good material. And I mean, they did the die cut, which is really nice, and you know, you get a nice border, and it's not a rectangle, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, but I love it because like the border lines are from the. It's just so intricate, but I mean like the representation.
Oh yeah,
is like dead on
as well.
It's like dead on. So with that being said, we're gonna get right into the cards, guys. Okay. What we have here, what I did is I went ahead and purchased. Anyways, I purchased 2 bricks. One for resale, but I'm not gonna sell this for at least another until I'm done looking at it. And while we have these out, I have like a prototype close-up mat that I'm gonna use.
Oh,
from
look
now
at
on.
you, fancy.
Yeah, because I use this and my daughter uses it with me, which is really cool.
Now we're stepping up production value.
A little bit. Okay, so unfortunately during shipping, this came from Germany, so there's a couple dents, dog earring. In my opinion, it's still fine. It didn't affect any of the cards. I looked at them, they're not dented. It just kind of pisses me off. Now, here's one of the things that I love most about this. This is very, Oath playing cards printed not only the tuck cases and all that stuff, but they also printed the brick boxes and this seal. If you look, they have that Oath, I can't remember what this is called now. I had it in the last video.
Like embossing or something?
Yeah, this type of embossing, this type of design is particular to them as well, and the GentlemanWake. You can see this kind of design in all his videos because he has it on his walls and stuff. Right, man, it's so sick. But
super floral, very flourishy.
But check this out.
Okay.
Right, only 500 bricks were labeled and sealed with Lorenzo's signature.
Oh, look at
and that's the designer of these cards.
Okay, Lorenzo.
Dude, if you haven't checked out Stockholm 17, because you've told me about you want to make a tarot deck.
Yeah.
His tarot decks, he's incredible. You have to check him out. If you haven't, I'm going to actually say that's your homework tonight.
All right.
All right.
Get sent home with some homework today. Not even sad about it. Not even.
No, man. There's no way you could be sad about it, my dude. Okay, so what I love most about this brick box is not only it's a very nice custom design. You can peek through the top. This is unlike many tuck boxes that you would get, even if they were custom. They're very like you fold them over, break them open. But what I love is it opens up from the center, has the stamp in the.
So nice, so classy.
It is,
yeah.
And oh man, it's so his style. But like, okay.
It's almost like I would imagine like going to a bank, like opening up like a security deposit box. It's like you got all the valuables.
Okay, so here's the thing. So now reds and blues, these are the standard editions, okay, that we're gonna look at. These are particular to the brick itself. These were the 2 original colors that were being released during the Kickstarter campaign, and then upon 600%, the blacks were released as well. Here's why the blacks are, in my opinion, the most important, right? Not only are they black, it's something I love. Yeah. Right.
Black and gold, classic.
But also these are numbered.
Okay.
Right, with an unbreakable seal, so that means you can open them and you still know which edition you have.
Interesting.
And each brick has 4 of these in them. So I have one unbroken sealed brick,
right,
which will retain value from a collecting standpoint. But I'm only going to open 1 black. I'm okay to open the reds and blues, but again, this is like. What's even funnier is that in Canadian, these are like going online for like $18. One of these, and these are going online for $27, $30.
Wow, hey.
Right. So what you're looking at is probably the most expensive playing cards that I own personally now.
Well, I mean, like,
right?
You can only go higher from here.
It can only. I'm sorry. Oh, dude.
Yo, that was like pure commitment.
Yo,
I respect that.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I mean, they're all the same. These 3. Yep. With this being like the limited edition 1,
right?
I'm gonna go ahead and say like I'm all good to open up 1 of each in this episode, because like they're all the same. But I do want to take a look because this one, this bad boy is black and gold.
I mean, like
and that. Oh,
so classic.
So good.
So
good.
I feel like black and gold is just like one of those things that like. The black is so minimalistic, and the gold is just like that flair.
It adds so much pop. So much pop. Okay, to get right into it too. One of the first things that drew me about this fucking deck is that they actually, remember what always kills me about when you open a deck? is like this
It's,
little pull tab.
Pull tab.
Okay, so if you look at the back, there's actually a U-shaped tab.
Ooh.
Right there.
You didn't even need the nail. It just like
slides
right
just
on.
slides. And like, other than like the fact that I kind of fucked up the rip. Dang. Actually, I'm just gonna take it completely out.
Oof.
Go ahead.
All right,
Yeah, after you. I want you to open one, please. Please enjoy, because this is the first time I've ever been able to like comfortably open. Look at that. Ah, it's so sick. It's the first time I've ever been able to comfortably open up like a $20 deck.
I mean,
like legitimately. This is this is new for me.
I mean, like.
Oh. Like, once you get it here, I'll take this plastic out of your window, bro.
The first thing that I noticed right here is that you got the matte versus the shiny. You got the dark versus the light. You got so much contrast in here, but it's not shocking.
No, it's not
like,
jarring.
It's not jarring.
Yeah,
it's so cohesive.
Cause like look at like that B-back style right there.
Yeah.
And like how it sits right on this like matte finish.
All foil.
And the foiling is dead on, dude. Do you see like even has the lining, outlining the lettering.
Yeah.
And that's huge, dude. And like even all this, like these little things, it can't be easy.
I mean, like I've never done foiling before, so I'm not sure what the process is involved in embossing and foiling and all this stuff. But if it is like I'm thinking that it is, which is like a step-by-step process, so you do the embossing first, then you do the foiling after, right?
Mm-hmm.
How they layered this so that the embossing, the gold foil, and the blue/red foil are all so like well layered is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Because like there's no
so gnarly.
like the registration that you need for something like that is like you need like a 5-layer registration to match all those things, all the contours, all this stuff together. And from what I can see, there's no variation in quality at all. Like there's no like they didn't overshoot in any direction. Like it's perfectly layered on every single part of this box.
100%. And they chose, like, in my opinion, this is like my favorite kind of matte cardstock tuck case, right? Because it's not textured, but it's just how it is. It's matted. It's gorgeous. The gold finish is just dead on it. One of the things I will say is like the small attention to details within the press and the finish is like huge. If you look too, like one of the things that I love is that you know it's a 2019 release, because if you look right here, it's MMXIX.
Oh yeah.
Right? 2019 Roman numerals, but that comes up in several places. Again, I also love this TGW logo right where the tuck. Look how the tuck is a V cut rather than the traditional the U cut.
And then you just have like the little logo popping out.
Yeah,
right there, right?
And that's what it allows for that logo to pop. Right? It's just gorgeous. Again, presented by the GentlemanWake.
Oh,
and
so
okay.
lovely.
Oh, look at the inside. Oh!
Okay, so that's something that I've never seen before, is foiling on the inside of the tuck case.
Dude.
I've never seen that before.
Yes. Oh, and it's the classic Cardamundi double wrap. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's equally to protect the tuck case as it is to protect the cards.
You know what I'm saying? And
like,
and the gaff, your card.
Oh my goodness! It's at the very,
it's like bottom.
Literally the very bottom.
Yeah, it says your card. Yeah, dude.
Okay.
That's a sweet. See, again, he respects magicians.
Yeah, no.
Right,
totally.
and this is rare among some people that put out cards. Some guys are just focused on cardistry. Some guys are just focused on releasing a very beautiful deck.
Yeah.
This is the culmination of several of those mentalities and facets. Dude.
And it's all foil.
Dude, it's all foil. But have you noticed how like it doesn't dramatically change like how the pressing on the outside is?
No, that's
right?
what,
that's actually, like incredible.
That's what I was just noticing, is that like you don't have any there's no indication on the outside that there's embossing on the inside.
No, man.
At all.
I will say too, like the line work on all the press inside and out is deadly. It's bang on, dude.
Well, it's just like you have like these floral finishes.
I love them. Go check this out. So you have the Stockholm 17 press, and what do you have on the other side? A reveal.
You got a gaff.
Yeah, another gaff. That's why I love the guy. This is why I swear to God, this is why I love the guy.
And it's, of course, again, all foil. Like, you don't have, I don't think there's anything printed on here at all.
No.
It's literally all foil.
It's all foil.
Which is crazy. I've never seen that before.
No. Again, this is, for me, this is a first because like this is my first delve into like really high-end luxury playing cards. And this is like blowing it out of the water for me right now, dude.
Well, I mean, like, to talk about some material here stuff too. The one problem that I have with matte usually, and I mean, to be fair, it's usually with vinyl and whatnot, right? But I mean, like, matte is a matte finish. I find that it tracks fingerprints really easy.
Yeah.
The cardstock that they have here is just like, it leaves it pristine. It's like there's no.
Yeah, you're not getting like weird oil on it and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of my biggest issue with matte is that it's so hard to keep clean for that specific reason. But I mean, like, this stuff is just fucking.
It's just incredible, but like they again, I can't get over the attention to detail, as a total. Like, I mean, like, look at the red on. Oh man, it's just the colors is just so good.
And I mean, like,
It
also,
man.
another thing is that like they match the color combo between the actual cardstock and the foil super well. Because trying to match colors for anything is really fucking difficult.
Yeah.
And I feel like they got like a perfect, complementary colors. So like, for example, on the tuck cases, right? Like the matte paper stock is a lot like less saturated than the foil, which is what makes it pop so much, even though they're the same color.
Yeah. Right off the bat.
Okay.
If you spread out the cards, they're not in order. Now,
Okay.
Now the reason being is because you should be able to cut. Is it? I believe that you don't have to cut to a 4 of diamonds. No. Great. So this is what's known as mnemonica stacking. And this was made famous by Juan Tamariz for mentalism and things like that. So he developed it to be completely, right out of the box, magic friendly.
Okay.
Right? And you can do mentalism with this box, fresh, uncut, unopened, etc., and have the spectator open it up for you.
Right.
And then everything should be in, like, you should have a number, you should be able to predict that card, etc., etc. But secondly, there's a bunch of extras, right? So there's the 2 jokers. You have a 2 changing. It's an ad card, but is a 2-color double backer and a blank.
Okay.
Red card. Yeah.
Let me pull the jokers of this one and see if they're the same.
They should be.
The ace of spades, always where the flare is, right? That's what we always do.
Yeah.
It is. I fuck with the style super hard.
Yeah.
Let me just go out with that first. I feel like this deck is a very it's meant to be like vintage looking, but not so much so that it's like.
Yes, not that it's like it like looks like it's been aged and pissed on. Because one of the other things I was going to point out, this isn't a standard white. This is like an aged white.
Yeah, it's
right?
like an eggshell white.
Here, compare this to like.
Yeah, you
right,
can definitely
massively different white, but I think it's done like that to be like dusty and like, again, old timey and aged.
I mean, what I love about it is that they don't go over the top with it. It's not like they're trying to like shove that shit in your face.
Yeah.
It's like it's very subtle, it's very light, and I really respect that. And not just to mention the quality of the card, but the style of what they're trying to portray, right?
Absolutely.
So like this ace of spades, you got the logo on the front. The GentlemanWake presents the Parlour crafted by Stockholm 17. Of course, this logo in the middle is the same as that card protector.
Yep.
And again, like if you look into this, like it has the same hatching style that we've seen previous, right? That I've commented. I really love that kind of style. In terms of like printing press and stuff like that, right? This was the way they used to do it because you couldn't print gradients and shit like that. You couldn't print shadows, so they did this hatching work style to give it the illusion of that. But yeah, no, it gives it lots of texture, lots of personality, and I mean, what I love about this style is that if you were to draw the same picture over and over again, you would never do it the same because the hatching is always going to be different.
Yes, it would never be consistent, right?
It would never be consistent.
Yeah. Okay, so then the other things I would point out is like, again, the text.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and it is in the exact same stacking. Check this out too. If you notice, like the color has this like weird fading and watermarking on it.
I was noticing that.
Right, and the and even like look at like the even the numbers and the lettering. It's just cool. It's just old parlour-y. It's for sure. It's very self-represented. You know, the press work is actually really accurate from what I'm seeing so far. Right, like it's really nice. The border lines are completely consistent when they've been pressed. There's no like, I haven't seen like any drastic imperfections. Yeah, nothing crazy. But like again, too, if you look at like some of the Royals, they're basically standard for the most part, but they have with obvious color changes that are very with this stuff, right? The faces and eyes have all been changed to be a little bit more characteristic, as well as like the things that they're holding. Right. Like she's holding a pen and paper and pad, but like you'll find that there should be actually a couple of reveals. Or look at that. That's cool.
Yeah, there's you know, you got the looking glasses, you got the magnifying glass as well. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, reveal.
And then okay, so King of Hearts. This is the GentlemanWake. That's his face. Okay. Right, and then that means the Queen of Hearts. Yeah, I have that too, which is the reveal for 7 of Diamonds. Right. And that means the Queen of Hearts is Liza Quinn. That's his wife. Okay. Right, which should be right here. Bang, and she's holding the microphone because she's a musician. Okay. Right. It's hilarious because like this is a super like custom-y deck. Right? Yeah. Very well done.
I mean, if you're designing your own deck, why would you not?
Why would you not put yourself in there? Like, yeah, dude. It's something I would do.
I would do that shit.
You know, that's something we're going to talk about too, right? But I love this. I love the fact that, like, again, he left reveals in. He left reveals on his tuck. He left reveals in his standard deck. Without having a gas deck, he already has these in here ready to go. Right? Yeah. All day, every day. And then, like, it's already in mnemonic stacking. This is already winning it. For me right now, dude. And again, like the back is also, it's clean, it's crisp. Yep. It doesn't, again, do you know how like I griped on the other one of that vanity deck where it was like just a center, you know, and it was so boring and something about it just didn't do it for me. But this, it still strikes me as like almost like a bicycle deck or like it has. Yeah. You know what I mean? It has like the center point, but it has the two things so you can still turn it around.
It's a mirrored image, nice. You know. Yeah. It's still filled out. It still has character. It still has
massive volume, character, right? And it's completely represented. Yeah. On the tuck, right?
And I mean, like
that's incredible.
For me, it's one thing, for example, to like go from the like having like a simple tuck case to going to like a more complex backing on the card. It's a totally different thing to go from an intricate card back to foiling the tuck case to match that in such detail that they have done.
It's huge.
Which is like crazy to me. Like for example, this is like a really small detail, but if you look at the beetle that they have on the backs here, right? You'll tell that there's a little bit of cross hatching on their backs to represent the light, where the light's coming from. It's also done in foil on the box. That same cross hatching style. Back is amazing.
Oh my god. Okay, so look. I am massively in love again. I'm just so blown away by like how nice, and like exactly what I always talk about, what I want to see in decks of cards, like my reveals, things that are magic friendly. This is mnemonic stacking. I can't get over how magic friendly this guy is. Right out of the box, without the need of an actual gaff pad.
Yeah, and I mean like to be fair, also like if you're playing like I get it, like, you know, card collectors aren't always magicians or like...
Yeah, and they're not card handlers and blah, blah, blah. They just love it for the art, right? Like, I get that too.
Yeah, it's like you could pick up this deck and like, you know, just play poker with them, for example. And it's like, you would never know that there's like specifically magic shit. Yeah. And besides, I mean, like the blank and like the whatever, but... Yeah. You know, you could just go pick up this deck of cards and just enjoy it for what it is, which is like an aged... quote unquote aged deck of cards that is beautiful in every way.
Absolutely.
And I mean these jokers too are just killer. I love them.
I know.
Gentleman animal. You'll notice too that you know, you have like this bluish hue versus the red hue joker, right? And the entire design reflects those colors, those changes in hue. For example, like this red one, like it's kind of like there's no black in it. Yeah. The black is represented by a desaturated red.
Yes, exactly.
And it's the same.
That's the shading, right? Almost like newspaper, or almost like a book.
Exactly.
Right.
Or even if you look at the Royals and custom or like regular decks of cards, most of them don't have like, or at least the vintage ones that we've done, they don't have black. They have like the shading is done in really desaturated colors. That's not black.
That's not black. Yeah. All right. So then look, we're going to get into the gaff deck. Now this is something that as a collector that I want to start seeing more and more of when it comes to playing card tuck cases as well. And the reason being is because I fell in love when we opened up the deck of cards.
Yeah.
I fell in love with that rip pull.
Yeah.
With seam.
Or the destructible box.
Yeah, the destructible box, and that means that it's been opened, and from a collecting standpoint, it just adds so much value. So this is why I love this, right? Like the seal, it represents the gaff decks inside, but it's a terrible. It's a not terrible. A tear away
box, yeah.
Box, right? It has like the I don't know what you call it, not corrugated.
It's scored, I guess.
Scored, yeah.
Maybe.
And opens so clean, and it also has a nice little dimple so you can reclose it. Right. Again, it's a small attention to details, right? It has the Stockholm 17 TGD or TGW logos. Okay, all right. So what we have here to start off is we have two varying double backers. So we have a blue on blue, red on red, and one of each. Red on blue. So I love these. Comes with two blanks, one of each color. So at least this is a really utilitarian gaff deck because it's made for both.
Yeah, you can do it for either.
Okay, that's sweet. I love because for a fact I use these.
Yeah,
I use these ones big time.
So you have the 7. I don't think there's anything on necessarily. Oh, okay. I spoke too soon. Man.
No, that's utility, baby. To have an ace reveal, so that means this one as well has an ace reveal,
right?
And that means this guy as well should have an ace reveal. So that means you're gonna have 3-card Monty, basically. Right. Follow the black, right, and then you can just change them out eventually or something like that.
Yeah.
Really sweet, but I also use this for one of my transitioning ones where you go like that.
Right.
Go ace to ace. Really great. Ooh, god damn.
Okay, I was not expecting that, yo.
That's nice.
I was not expecting that. That caught me by surprise. I'm not gonna
Okay, so then we have the half and half.
Yep.
The half and half, Liza Quinn, Queen of Hearts with the 6 of clubs. On the other side is a blue. That's sweet. Oh, okay. Okay. So now check this out. Oops. Easy, John. Jeez. So this one I actually this guy I actually have to learn how to use in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Okay. This is actually a quite interesting one. Now, I think the idea behind this one was that you force an ace of clubs and a 6 of diamonds, and then the idea was to like mash them together and give them a shake, and then you should be able to peel one of them away. Right, or something like that. I think that's a really great effect considering they're both the same color.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
And they're both reds.
Yeah. That's so nice. I that's really cool because again that's a gaff that I own several gaff decks now at this point, and that's something that doesn't really necessarily exist. Some of these ideas necessarily exist, but this type of gaff does not. Okay, sweet, and I love that.
So
a different reveal.
This is definitely a lot more pronounced of a reveal than the one that comes standard in the deck, because there is one in the deck still. Is that the same reveal as the one in the deck?
That's a great question, actually. Because I believe the reveal is on the King of on the GentlemanWake card, so I believe that was the King of Hearts.
Because if it's a different reveal altogether,
then that'll be
super rad.
Yeah. So then King of Hearts. Nope.
Yeah.
7 of diamonds.
7 of diamonds. Yeah.
Right. Two of spades. That's
two
really
totally
sweet.
different reveals there.
That's sweet. Okay.
I feel like take a look at that one real quick.
Yo, I've never thought of that. I have the Shin Lim deck, which uses a similar idea, but it's with the face.
Right.
I've never thought of that. That's so nice. That's so clever.
A half and half on the back.
Yeah, half and half color change, dude. No, that's utilitarian. That's huge, especially if we have both decks.
I feel like that could make it lead for an interesting like shape change or something like that.
Yeah, that could be so like you can mash them together and then peel one.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna have to learn something for that.
And
then the 2 of Hearts. Now this is something I love because I wanted specifically this gaff. Not just it also has a reveal.
Has a reveal on it as well.
Ace of Hearts.
Yep.
something I friggin' love to death. And it's not just because I'm a huge fan of like Lezequin and GentlemanWake. It's just because when I do functions or when I do parties this summer or next summer for things like weddings or things that are like date night and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Having a card that brings the two hearts together is really truly.
It's
Or sorry, the king and the queen of hearts.
Yeah.
Like to bring them both together to create two of hearts. Like that's such a great way to emphasize a story and to. It's just something that's not really. Again, this is something that you don't find necessarily in many gaff decks, and it's a really well thought out gaff, and I love that. I think this exists. This type of thing exists in another deck, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't really put my finger on it.
And not to mention that this is the same gaff that's on the tuck case.
Yeah.
It's the two of hearts.
Two of hearts.
Yeah. So I
Get
feel
out of town. You just blew my mind real quick.
yeah, homie. Yeah,
Fuck,
no.
oh man, my nose bleeding.
My nose bleeding because it's the two of
Get
hearts.
out of
for
town.
sure.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that just now.
Got you with the hookup, homie.
Dudes. Yo, and again, well thought out, dude. That's I can use the hell out of that effect.
And I mean, like, to think about it too, like, you could also, like,
I can use that effect big
you
time.
can go from one reveal to the next, because it's like, okay, you see the tuck case, you bring out the card, which is the two
Right.
cards, which also has another reveal on it.
Right, which has a further reveal, so it layers on layers.
Yeah.
Which
So-
is interesting. So I might create a routine. Oh yeah, that's lined up pretty good.
Lines up pretty good.
Yeah. So Parlour Gaff deck, that you definitely get good points on bringing this into the equation here, because when I purchased it on Kickstarter, they offered it for $7 or something like that.
So let me just ask you a question
Yeah.
with that gaff deck. How do you feel about it being made for 2 decks of cards, some of which have to be specifically for 1 deck?
I don't mind, specifically because I feel that if you're going to purchase a Parlour deck, you purchase one of each.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but again, I think it was just a quandary that they came over, that they're like, well, do we design a Parlour deck for the red and the blue?
Yeah.
Or do we create one deck of 14 cards that are good enough for both, that you can, because I can still use, if I only had the blue one, I can still use a lot of this. I actually need to use all of them, technically. For other effects, I would just have to learn them.
Right.
Is what it is. I'd have to learn or create an effect to go with those cards to make them work in this particular deck.
Yeah, no, and that's totally fair. I just kind of wonder about that in terms of like magic and stuff, because I know how you like utilitarian shit.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, I like really universally usable items.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I mean, like, it would never cross my mind that you could use like a red back on
Yeah.
like the blue deck. And it's like it doesn't necessarily that you wouldn't even like you don't even necessarily have to see the back as well.
No, but you would definitely, yeah. Again, that falls into the category of the magician. Like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even then, I'm not that good. But at the same time, like, it's something I could definitely learn.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man. Okay, so we're getting into the black pack. This is something that I wanted to save for last. We both definitely decided to save it for last and savor it, because the reason I love this pack is it's numbered, right? And it's with an indestructible label, or an indestructible seal. And what that means is that it's on the bottom rather than the top, so you don't have to break the seal to get into it. And you know which deck you have, which I'm really happy, because I'm pretty sure all my decks fall under the 2,000 mark of the 5,500 of these that were printed. So that's what also I love about these. These are extremely limited in comparison to the blues.
No, definitely.
But these will be pretty much the same design, same in pneumatica stacking, all that stuff, except that they will be in black and gold.
Which I mean, like, you already know my thoughts on this. You know my opinion.
But you can't tell me that's not sexy. They have like that black gloss 2 of hearts right there.
That like
That's
honestly,
sick.
it's one of my favorite aesthetics, is having black on black and just have that different finish. I think it's like super classy, super low key, super subtle, but it's just like So nice. And then on top of that, you got the gold foil in there.
Yeah, and like look at this pack. Like, but it doesn't just represent, these were good and the packs were gold foil, the inside's gold foil. But here's the real true difference in the reason I love it. You ready?
All right, let's go. Holy fuck. Okay, you just blew my mind with that.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
100% worth the wait, completely represented front, inside and out.
yeah, I've never seen a deck with gold foil on the inside.
I've never had a chance to buy one.
So shiny.
Feel it. Just saying. Go ahead. Go ahead. Please.
Oh,
Oh.
just catch these in the light and they just
Yeah.
shine in your fucking face, dude. Oh,
Dude.
god damn, son.
Yeah. Okay, but just to put it out there, like if you look, the fronts, like all the faces and all that stuff, they're all the same. Right? The stacking is the same, all that stuff. I just want to talk about the back on this, right? Like, dude, like it beats even what's on the tuck, man.
I agree. I definitely agree. So to go into this, I just want to pull one of these up for comparison.
Oh man. And the white on grays, dude, it's so good. It's so good.
So going back to like the blue deck, it's two-tone, meaning you have the blue and you have the white background. You get different shades because of the cross-hatching and all this stuff. This is a little bit more complex than that.
Oh man.
This is
Slightly. And again, this is also printed on the Cardamondi B9 cardstock, which will probably, oh dude, oh my god. Look, watch.
and just that gold,
It's-
it catches your
oh!
eyes so good.
Dude, oh man, like if you, like,
It's like you're holding a brick in your hand.
yeah, and the thing about gold gilding, or not gilding, but like anything with the gold print, they usually stick and they usually, not this.
Not even a
Like
little
not,
bit.
it's, and it still feels broken in. It's that true Cardamondi thick B9 stock, and it's a gorgeous thing. You can feel it, top to bottom, dude. I am shook.
I
am shook.
I was like, you know what, like, I was not expecting. Okay.
Hold on. You know what? I'm actually
Yeah.
so shook. I need to have a smoke. Hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Like, the foiling on the cards is exceptional. Like, first of all, like, there's no change in playability. There's no raises or bumps or any
Yeah.
kind of defect with the card that comes with this kind of printing.
Yeah. Again, it doesn't require breaking in. It's not sticking.
No.
No clumpiness.
And like you were saying, like, cards that come with gold tend to have a little bit of stickiness.
You always gotta you always gotta riffle through them, break them in, get them off each other, and then like rub them against each other to like really wear in that nice finish, right?
Yeah. So like I was saying before, like the blue and the red cards, right? They are two-tone, so you get the white and you get the color, right? These ones I would say are probably 3 if not 4-tone.
Yeah.
So you have the white of the cardstock, you have the black printing on the background, you got the gold, and you got this like gray patch in the middle. It's a 4-tone when you look at it. It's a 3-tone printing process because the cardstock is white.
Yeah.
But yeah, like super shiny, which is something that I was definitely not expecting.
But like this is more than I expected in terms of gold. Like I thought it was like shiny and it looked gorgeous online.
Yeah.
But then like in person.
Well, you'll never ever see what it's like online until
you see it. Yeah, it's just like seeing like really vibrant hot pinks.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It just doesn't get represented enough or as well.
And it's like it's even shiny enough to the point where it's like you can, if you like have the edges out, you can almost like see the reflection
of
yourself on the cards.
And proper skin tone, like you can see it.
That's how reflective they are.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
But like, I mean, it's just nuts.
Like, if you want to see all the details in this card, you have to take it away from the light because it's like it shines in your face.
Yeah.
That's how shiny it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It needs to be examined like in a setting where like there's no beating lights, and
Yeah.
I can only imagine what this looks like in the daytime.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
you know what I'm saying? Like you can look at it in the day, but you gotta be inside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
Honestly.
can't have these outside.
Blind motherfuckers with these kids that can craft.
Oh hell no, man! Yeah, you just blind somebody big time. But look, that's all three of the Parlour decks from the brick of the magnificent Kickstarter from Parlour and the GentlemanWake and Stockholm 17. I don't know what to say. I think this is like hands down. I've said it before. This is the best release of the year, in my opinion. And I've seen some great releases, you know, through OPC, through TCC, and through Cardamundi themselves, as well as Bicycle. But, you know, I keep saying that like, Bicycle's releases start to sometimes feel repetitive.
Yeah, no,
And
I definitely get
the
that.
art is amazing. It's always amazing. Their card stocks always remain amazing. And their print and line work remain amazing. It's just that I feel that because of how many of those decks that they put out, all of different types and different branding and stuff like that, it kind of gets lost in the mix, whereas something like this is so genuinely good.
So
in every way.
inspiring, so eye-grabbing.
Yeah, and this it's things like this. This right here is the reason I want to put out my own deck.
And you know, like it's like I see what you're saying with like, you know, if you're constantly releasing like new stuff, right? Like you definitely have to like I agree that like decks can get lost in the mix, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why like when you're releasing like so much content and so much stuff, like you have to have that like extra edge to really push that to the top of what you're releasing.
Yes, and I believe it's in this case it's quality, utmost quality over quantity.
And that's the thing, it's like they'll never, like from what I've noticed is that like it's never a compromise between aesthetic versus usability.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's always, you know that it's gonna handle perfect, and like with this deck, it's just like it's gonna look immaculate.
Yeah. The only things that I have, I guess, minor complaints about with this deck are pretty much almost nothing, actually. To be honest with you, yeah, the only complaints I can actually really come up with that would be truly rational is that if they, my brick box came through the United States from Germany anyways, so shipping to Canada from there made no sense, on top of the sheer fact that I still had to pay custom fees for it to enter the country.
Right.
Whereas I don't usually do that through, say, Vanishing Ink or Vanishing Magic, or through playingcarddex.com. They usually, yeah, it's like $15 and it gets sent to Canada, no questions, right? And
Right.
I never have a problem with it, on top of the sheer fact that when I received it, it has been cut open. My two bricks were not heavily dented, but were lightly dented, as you saw.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy with that, because I'm not blaming 52 Wonders, I'm not blaming GentlemanWake or Stockholm 17, I'm blaming UPS, dude. It's because, quite frankly, I spent literally $500 or $600 Canadian. It's something that that's a big investment for me. I know for some of you, you have that money, but I have a family. I have rent, I have bills, and for somebody to support somebody else like that, which I'm more than willing to do, and I'm going to continually keep doing it. That's my only complaint, is that it was handled in shipping horribly. It was packaged pretty well, but because they kept opening it up and reviewing what was inside, it got thrashed slightly, and then from a collecting standpoint, it definitely lowered the value of my bricks. But with that being said, I still don't have any problems with the quality of the cards. You guys made sure that these were hands down the most utilitarian deck to come out in the high-end playing card category.
Yeah.
Hands
no.
down.
I mean, like I was saying this a little bit off camera, but I mean, my one gripe with all of the decks here is that on the back of this little gold card, I'm not particularly aesthetically a fan of the gray that they put in the middle, but I mean, realistically, like,
Yeah.
what does that change?
Yeah, but like, yeah, that's like the smallest.
The smallest nitpick.
Yeah.
And that's honestly just my own personal opinion. That's not
Mhm.
even like a thing where it's like, objectively, this is a bad thing. It's
Yeah.
just like, for me, I prefer it didn't have the gray. I wish it was just white, black, gold. But, like I said, That's my own personal opinion. It
Yeah.
does not affect the deck in any capacity.
Yeah, and like you said too, any imperfection like that is definitely just covered up.
Covered in gold, baby.
Oh, I honestly, I couldn't be happy. With all that being said,
Okay.
in terms of the red and the blues, red and the blue parlor decks.
Red and the blue part of decks, you know, the care that went to the tuck boxes, which is the same throughout. Amazing quality of cards. You know, the designs in there, while not being super far away from traditional, are unique in their own sense, which I super appreciate.
Yep.
I'd have to give these an 8.5, man.
8.5, solid, right?
Yeah.
For these red and the blues, I'm hugely in love with these cards. As again, from the utility standpoint, it allows that you can play any type of game of cards. You can also do Magic. You can also do cardistry. It's not really cardistry leaning, but if you approach it in certain moves and all that stuff, you can still flourish it in a way that's still beautiful and classy.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and just rate these guys at about a 9.
Okay.
For me, because again, the tuck box, you know, very similar to like things that you've seen from like Theory 11, things that
Yeah.
you've seen from Illusionist, but my only thing is that they went all the way, and it was a front and back, inside and out situation that's on top of all the gaffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, on top of that, you have the supplementary gaff pack.
Yep. Oh, and speaking of the gaff pack, then how would you rate the gaff pack?
Gaff pack for me, I would say I would lump that in together because I don't get as much use of it as you do. So I'll rate that as an 8.5 collectively.
Collectively with the thing. For me, I would this right here is the reason that because I would rate these an 8.5 as well, but because this exists, I rate it at a 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Again, generally, just because I have a lot of uses for specifically those types of gaffs. Okay. So then now, this sexy black motherfucker right here. This guy.
Sexy black motherfucker.
This guy. Okay.
Um.
I'm going to say the same things, except that it's just more glamorous.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Definitely a lot more show to it. A lot more, you know, elegance and you know, I feel like you said, so glam.
Dude, so glamorous. Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah. So for these ones, I'm gonna give these a 9 from the point of a designer, and honestly, like the reason why it's not a 9.5 for me is because that little spot of gray.
A little bit of gray, eh?
And honestly, like that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Honestly, everything else is just immaculate. I just wish that because the gold is so in your face, right? Like I didn't feel like they needed to include another color.
Yeah.
Because it is so bright, so vivid that just adding more color just kind of washes it out, in my opinion. Again, like I said,
Especially in the light, right?
yeah, no.
Yeah.
And like I said, like, you know, that doesn't affect its playability, doesn't affect its durability, none of that stuff, its handleability. It's literally just aesthetically, for me, in my opinion, that gray
Yeah.
is a little much. And then that's about it,
That's
man.
pretty
For
much
that
it,
design.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then from my standpoint, so considering we can't use the gaff pack on this deck, I personally don't mind. It is one of the few occasions where, quite frankly, I can take this deck as is. With that being said, I would have liked to see a duplicate somewhere. Right? That's the only thing that is lacking in all the decks. But with that being said, this is something that I have literally been waiting for almost a year.
Yeah.
For at least 6 or 7 months. And seeing it in person and seeing all this, it just blows my mind. So flat out, the meat on the bone is going to be a straight up 10 for me.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, and the reason being, again, it's because of how much crafting went into all of the decks respectively, and this is like this is one of the only decks that I can see myself not giving a shit about fucking gaffs. I can literally play with this deck as it comes all day, every day, because it has the little gaffs on it. I don't mind. I would use this for things like poker displays, poker productions, 4 aces.
Yeah.
Not just regular everyday things. I would use this in the classiest sense and use it for classy performances.
I definitely feel like you can't use this deck of cards without having a little cup of brandy and a cigar in your mouth.
Yeah, oh god, yeah.
Classy as fuck.
Super classy, right? Have a Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
You know? The coffee and the sandwich.
And the sandwich.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah, I will give this a flat out 10. Okay?
respect for that.
Yeah. Oh man, so that for the blue and reds plus the gaff pack, that puts us, I gave it a 9,
I gave it an
8.5, so that puts us at 17.5. The gold, that's a solid 19.
A 19.
19, and that's well deserved. Well deserved.
Super well deserved, you know, like just so elegant, so classy, so
Just
vivid.
Just so lovely.
Lovely
So
in
lovely.
every sense.
But again, I love it because it's also, it's labeled, all that stuff. And sorry, my unopened deck, but we're gonna rate it anyways. The Dynastidae deck.
I mean, like, I've taken a collective look probably for 30 seconds of this deck, and I'm gonna rate it a 9.5.
9.5. Yeah, I'm gonna flat out just give it a 10 too.
I mean, like,
okay, no, honestly, like once
No.
I show you the video of when they open it, oh my god.
the embossing
Wow.
is amazing. The gold work is amazing. I would say the only color combo that rivals black and gold, in my opinion, is green and gold.
Green and gold,
And
yeah.
it's just so classic. So
But it's a combination that pops. You know, it works.
it's so good. And like the things that like green and gold has been a color combination for so long, and it's for a fucking reason.
It's for very much a reason. Just like blue and golds.
Blue and gold
Right?
as well.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, no.
It's just, again, the way it's been done, it's timeless. It's just beautiful in every way.
How they incorporated the logo into the name,
Mm-hmm.
how that beetle horn stretches all the way up through to the S.
Oh yeah, and the S actually looks like a treble clef
Yeah, no, totally.
also as well.
And so it's so classic.
Oh,
It's,
here's something that you probably didn't see. Right in the middle of its back is an
Yeah.
ace of spades.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because the ace of spades is representative of the GentlemanWake, but you can definitely
Yeah,
see that
no,
outline
totally.
in there. And that's like this and this. It's just, I love little features like that. Again, they spent a lot of time and effort.
No, like I feel like this like case almost looks just like quilted fabric. Like that's just what it is. And it's
Yeah.
like you got these two gold stamps on the back that are just perfectly, they're perfectly spaced, perfect in
Like,
composition.
super symmetrical, like very well done.
Just the
And
gold work is just
Like, look
amazing.
at that, the TGW.
And you get the TGW at the top.
Like how it pokes out
In
is
that notch
perfect.
is just
It's
so
perfect.
good. And limited edition
Yeah.
777.
Yeah, printed to 777 decks.
That's what I think I love about it the most is that it looks like it's like a quilted fabric.
Yeah.
And that just
Yeah.
it has that texture to it. It's got the gold and it's got the green. Oh my god.
Well deserved. So yeah, so this tuck case alone and this deck gets a 19.5.
Actually, you know what? I changed my mark. Straight up 10.
Straight to 10.
Straight
It gets
up
a
10.
20. This it well deserved 20 in my opinion.
20.
And I couldn't be happier. So look guys, that's pretty much a wrap. So that's the Parlour Brick set from Kickstarter, rated, reviewed by myself and Chris. So look, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. I appreciate you guys for joining us. And I really hope this gets in front of the eyes that really deserve to see how we appreciate their work. And I just couldn't be happier.
I mean, like we've just been sitting here gushing for like
Yeah, dude.
so long.
I just feel like my mouth was watering, like just like thinking about today and filming. So, look, if you guys have any other comments about this deck or you want to know more about it, please leave us a comment in the comment section below. We would love to hear from you guys as well. If you guys have any other Kickstarter type cards or projects that you would love to check out or love us to check out, and you think that deserves a little bit of love, leave that in the comments down below. So again, I'm your boy John. Thank you very much for joining me. If you want to contact myself or Chris, you can find us on Instagram. Our information will be in the comments below as well. So we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Peace.
I can't stop looking at this shit.
Oh, dude.